Okay, we're back. Did a bunch of cleaning up. Scrub this thing clean. Got new O-rings for that. I dug up all my old O-rings there. These balls we're not going to use. I won't keep them either. There's the new ones there. The new one seat, we're going to reuse it. Reuse that. So I got 5 of these O-rings here to choose from to use. I'm going to measure the biggest ones. Those are the ones I'm going to put in. And if they leak, then I'll replace them. Otherwise, I'm not replacing them. Everything else is going. All the important stuff is being fixed, not the least important stuff is solar pump stuff. Who cares? Okay, it's about 61 thou thick. It's about the same. This one's about 55, so we're not using that one. We just dropped it someplace, so I'm not using it either. This is 5960. Okay, so one went down that way or somewhere. Don't know where it went. Looks like it went bye-bye. Yep. We'll find it later. It's not here where I'm going to find it quickly, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so I got 3 to choose from. Let me use the blue ones. Let me use those 2 right there. They'll be good enough. Okay, so the advantage of using a used exciter pump diaphragm is it's nice and flexible and it's already form fitted. So the spring goes on the inside. So it goes down inside the hole. And you put your diaphragm on top of the hole. Make sure you're in the center where it belongs. There we go. And it just goes right on in there like it's supposed to. You put a little grease in there if you want to help hold it, but we're just going to wing it. Wingy ding ding. Okay, now the little spring goes inside of here. This 3-sided hole right here, that's where the spring goes. Don't lose that spring. I've lost more than one of these. Make sure it fits in there good. On a nice flat surface, you don't hurt anything. So we got a little ball right here. You lay it right on top of the spring. Like that. The other ball goes right in the other hole. Like that. Probably would have helped if I put the ball, if I put the O-ring in there first. Get the right word in there. Help center things up better. Yeah, well, it goes in. Alright. Now we gotta try to put this in upside down and get the diaphragm to go where it belongs. So you have to poke it in there to make sure it goes in where it belongs. Use something real long and thin. My nails aren't long enough. Whoop. So use something else. A thin putty knife might do the trick. See how it dropped in. Slide it side to side just a little bit to rake it. Make sure it sits dead flat. See how it's dead flat all the way around? Then you know it's in there all the way where it belongs. Now you can put the screws on it. Right here. The screw goes there. Big long one just drops in the hole to hold it centered. Now if the cover plate does not sit flat, don't put it in, because that means you're not in the groove. You're going to have problems. See how it sits nice and flat all the way around? That's what we're looking for. A little torque on them. Nothing too severe. Alright. So our pump is in there. Pump rod goes in there. Should go up nice and freely. Spring back up. It is. So now it's working. Okay, that part's good. Now we got our float needle. Here's our needle. It's got a spring on it. And you've got a little hook on the end of your float. That goes on top of there like that. Kind of hold it like that. And drop it into your hole there. Like that. You gotta put the pin through the hole. This pin's a little dirty. I didn't clean it yet, so I need to go clean it real quick. So I'm going to go over here to our scrub pad. Right here, I've been scrubbing everything with. Just trying to knock off any of the buildup on there that could cause the float needle to stick, or the float itself would be sticking. So I want everything to be nice and clean so it works correctly. Make sure you wipe off the grit from that, because that leaves grit. Alright. Now our pin's nice and clean. Go back over here. Pin goes right through the holes right there. Lift the float up slightly to make it line up. Kind of drops in the holes there more or less. Yeah. When you do it right, it works easier. Should stick the pin in first, then drop it down, just like that. You get that big flat-headed screw right here. Goes in there. It's actually called a pan head screw. Not a pan head motorcycle, but a pan head shaped screw. Two totally different things. Before you tighten up all the way, make sure the pin's in there correctly and nothing's binding. Appears to be working good. You're supposed to be about 5/16 down, about 300 thou. Make sure the float works nice and free like it is. You can measure 300 thou down right here. Yeah, looks close enough to me. There's a ball tip on there, so if you pull on it, it'll keep pulling, but that doesn't count. That's what gravity is. This float looks like it's just a tick high, maybe? Pretty close. Grab our scale. We're probably more like a 1/4 inch. Yeah, we're more like a 1/4 inch. So that means we can go down a little bit more. So that means we need to bend this pin, the top of the lever down. Use your thumbnail to do it. Just hold the float at the base. Push your nail a little bit. See, I went way too far. See how it's too much now? Get our little screwdriver here. Just come back over here and give it a light spring back. Play around with it a little bit. Get where I'm at. I didn't think I moved it that far. I guess I did. Yep. I went too far. I'm gonna do it again. you go. Make sure it's nice and free. Measure your height. Looks like we're only about 1/4 inch right now. Yeah, we're pretty close. Pretty close. Yep, right at 300. So still a little draggy feeling. It's dry. Put a little lube on everything in here. It's supposed to have fuel on it, which is a lube, so. Now it's a little more easier to work. Consistent. Measure it again, make sure it's still good. It is, so there you go. So that's what you want to do. Now if you want to test out the exciter pump, all you gotta do is put some fuel in the bottom of the bowl, or squirt right where that hole is over there on the bottom. Put some lube in there, work it in there, and as you push on the rod here, the rod goes right in the center of the diaphragm right here. That's the hole it goes in. And if you just put some fluid in there and go like this, it'll prime it and start shooting on you. So if it's working correctly. So like I said, we can try that with the lube in there. Out of the way. I think that's the hole that feeds it. Yep. Wants pressure to go in there, I think. Alright, center hole. Yeah, needs more. You can hear it working, but it's not all the way. Now these are adjustable here. You can rotate them to make them squirt evenly. So we can check on that here. We need a little drop of fuel in there. So right now, I'm getting wet, I think. Let's wipe everything down, make sure there's no lube on there. It's a good time to test to see if we're going to leak. This rag has got oil on it. It helps to use a dry rag when you're trying to check for leaks. Back down here again. Yeah, dry rag. Thing's wet. Alright. Get in a dry towel. Okay, wipe it all down. Let's find out if it's leaking. Actually, I got some gas in there, pretty easy, it'd be easier. Put the real deal in there. Okay, anyway, we're wiping the OOD down. Okay, it's all wiped. So I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in here. We just happen to have a fuel source out there, sitting there, waiting to be used. Okay. I got a little bit of fuel in there right now. Where'd our pump rod go? Here's our pump rod. Now we squirt this, gonna make a mess. I'm gonna go out here and squirt it outside. Not sure which direction it's gonna go. Let's find out. Dry. It's not pumping. Probably because it's plugged up. It's hard to push, so it's pressure. It's solid. So we're not leaking, so the used parts didn't have a problem. We don't have all the screw. I've only got 2 out of 3 in there. So okay, so this here is plugged up. Something's plugged up and ain't going through. So it's got to be that. Which means we got to pull that out. Try to clean it. Something is not functional right now. Okay. Alright. Good thing we checked it. It doesn't work. But it is sealed. That's a plus. Okay, so we need to figure out what's going on with this. We got to try to get this thing out of here. That ought to be the fun part. Okay, I got a noisy person coming. Be back.